Hello everybody! Okay, from time to time I'm giving these updates on my ongoing project to write a NeXTStep-inspired launcher in YAB. So, I'm too lazy to go back to the last update, so forgive me if I repeat myself. But where are we? Well, let's have a look. As you can see, this now remembers its last settings and recreates them when you start the program. So that is something I'm pretty proud of. And also you can see that I've written a few doc apps. Now I like my doc apps at the top here horizontally, but you could have put them in between here, no problem. So I'm particularly proud of my Workspaces app because I had to dig out some undocumented switches in YAB to get that working. But we've got it here now, and yeah, I'm quite happy with it. So, of course, it's much faster on a fast machine. This is a very slow virtual machine. And one thing you will have noticed, let's quit. See, I can now quit the entire application. I had to shell out to this little script to do it. I couldn't do it in YAB itself. And yeah, I know I've given you warnings, don't overdo system calls, but sometimes they really are useful. This is where I find all the applications and kill them. Right, and this shell here looks for this particular setting and then runs them all. So every time the program runs, every time you move or change a tile, it writes a little script, a little shell script to a specific configuration directory. And when you close that particular tile, it deletes it. So between the two systems, I now have something that will actually work, that will make Jetty remember its settings. Now, somebody asked me, when you compile a program with the build factory, do you still have to give the exact location of the picture maps that you're using? Well, it's very easy to find out, isn't it? Let's move this here and run it. And nope, Jetty can't even find its own picture. It runs, it doesn't crash. But it can't find any of the auxiliary files that it needs, which is rather sad. I also found out do have a problem with finding the actual location of the program. Something that I need to look more deeply into in the code, because we do have this peak is bound, right? And that still works for bound programs, but it looks like it's not working for compiled ones. So I can either bind my main program rather than compile it, or I can have this little script which I can then put in the boot launch directory or in the desk bar eventually. Right, and look, it uses open application x vendor Jetty. So that is the signature. It opens it by its signature rather than by its name. Now you'll see that the tiles don't fill in a nice, first vertical and then horizontal pattern. It's sort of, they actually go according to the name of the script. I probably could do something about that, but I'm not sure that I'm going to, because having them sort of, find their position, I think it adds a little bit of character to the program. Yeah, maybe not. So that's where we are. As always, all the source code is available in the Git repository. And to answer the question, yes, even when it's compiled, you have to give the names of the auxiliary files very specifically. That was always a problem in the past, but now we have H packages. And with an H package, if I put my pixmap here, then it's always going to be at ... pixmaps. Right? Regardless of whether I install it to the system or to the home installation. So you use those relative addressing setups, and yes, I do have over 1400 icons. I've got about 600 to go that still need to be converted. And that's just the main collection, because if you really want your Jetty to look more like a GNU setup, then yeah, I've got those icons too. And I've got another set here. And these are all little 32 by 32 pings, so they really shouldn't take up a vast amount of space once it's inside an H package. Also, what I've been doing, I've added a few more tiles. I think I'll stop now. This, as you can see, you don't need to use the same tile for all your launchers. Here I like to have terminal use a different one. You could have a different one for every single one if you like, but Maybe not. By the way, if you want to know what this looks like on my main machine, then we can certainly do that. There you can see I've moved the desk bar to the other side and have my Jetty on this side here, because that is just more next step-ish. And I've got two tiles right here at the bottom, because you really can put these things absolutely anywhere you like. Okay, so that is it for this brief update. Or is it? No, not yet. So this now does everything I wanted to do, right? So I can launch things, I can change the icon, I can change the tile, I can move them around. It auto saves positions, and I can shut the whole thing down. Right. So I can package it up, release it into the wild? No. Because while it now does everything I want from it, remember, each of these tiles is a separate YAB program. So look at what it is doing over here. Yep. So each one of these tiles takes up 3.39 megabytes for YAB itself, and then another 2.98 to run the actual program. So this is using up a lot of memory. And this is not something you want from a launcher. Launcher should be a tiny little thing that doesn't take over your machine. So it's back to the code we go, and I have to figure out a way to make one instance of YAB run all of these, and maybe another instance to run these. See, I've developed them separately. Now I have to integrate that code. See, and this one should not be too hard. I think I can do that one. Getting this working off a single instance of YAB is going to be a lot more complicated. Okay, so that is where we are at the moment. What would you like to see in this launcher? Let me know. Thanks for watching.